Good afternoon. Today for math, we're going to learn about the metric units of mass. Our essential question is, how can conversion of measurements help me solve real-world problems? Now, when we're talking about mass, I want to focus a little bit on this word mass right here, because I think you've heard the word massive, perhaps, or mass hysteria. We use it as a word that describes something that's really big or huge. For example, if we had some planets are more massive than other planets. If you compare Pluto to Jupiter, Jupiter is just massive. Okay, so if you also hear someone describing a crowd, it was a massive crowd. Or massive hysteria means huge panic, massive. In this case, mass is the amount of matter an object has. The mass of an object is not affected by gravity. Now, I want you to think about that because one of the questions is, what's the difference between mass and gravity? So, if I talk about gravity, gravity is a force that pulls you down to the ground, towards the earth. Earth has gravity, and that's what keeps you on the ground or grounded. There are planets that have less gravity where you can actually bounce, and so the gravity of the Earth allows us is a force that allows us to stay grounded. If you jump, the Earth pulls you right back down. Gravity. So I want you to think about this statement that mass of an object is not affected by gravity. Okay, that means that your mass is your mass, and we measure your mass in metric units as either grams or kilograms. And again, we are talking about metric units, not customary. So remember, customary units is the way in the United States and two other countries we weigh or we measure the mass of an object. For example, a penny you can measure in ounces in the U.S. instead of grams. Instead of saying kilograms, we would use the word pounds, but we're learning the metric system. And the metric system is used in science and in medicine. And doctors will use grams or kilograms. The, for medicine, to weigh you. So I want you to think about the last time you went to the doctor and you were weighed for your physical. Are they using kilograms? Is the doctor using kilograms, or are they using pounds? Your parents' ID, if you check your parents' ID or any California ID, it measures it in customary units. It will be pounds. Okay? Now, remember, some adults don't want to be asked how much they weigh. So be careful before you ask someone, how much do you weigh? Because it's something very personal. Okay, but anyway, we are learning metric units of mass. So the gram here, the mass of a penny is about 1 gram. So it gives you an idea, a relative idea of how much 1 gram would be. So if you hold a penny, that's about how much a penny's mass is. Okay. If you get 6 apples, they're about the average same size. They will be about 6 medium apples is about 1 kilogram. So a kilogram, or in Spanish, kilogramo, a kilogram is about 6 apples. So if you pick up a sack of apples, think about it. If you go to the store and you pick up some apples, they come in about a dozen maybe. So how much would a dozen weigh? How many kilograms would a dozen weigh? If 6 of them weigh 1 kilogram, okay? So math in my world. Let's go to the first example, which is the more reasonable estimate the mass for the mass of a laptop, 2 grams or 2 kilograms. So again, a reasonable estimate means you're gonna have to like estimate. Some people would say it's a guess, but it's a educated guess because you want to see what's reasonable. Reasonable is makes sense. So unreasonable will be like it weighs about a laptop will weigh about 1 gram, and you know that 1 gram will be if this is 1 gram a penny, would it be reasonable to say that this is 2 grams? So you always want to go to your comparison relative mass to compare. And I'm going to tell you, use logic to estimate the mass. 2 grams or 2 kilograms. Here are the helpful hints. 2 grams would be the same mass as 2 pennies. Again, comparing. 2 kilograms will have the same mass as about 2 medium apples. So think about it. I'm sorry, 12 medium apples. So 12, remember I had that question? 2 kilograms would have the same mass as about 12 medium apples. So imagine 12 of these apples. That's how much your Chromebook would weigh, or a laptop. Now, this is just to let you know, it's probably a bigger laptop, not your Chromebook. Your Chromebook will probably be a little less mass. Example 2, is it more reasonable to say that a rabbit's mass is 3 grams or 3 kilograms? Again, when you look at the rabbit, what is its mass? What is more reasonable? 3 grams, remember, going back to our penny, a penny is 1 gram. Does it weigh, is the mass 3 grams? If a penny is 1 gram, is 3 grams reasonable? How about 3 kilograms, or 6 plus 6 plus 6 apples? The weight of about 18 apples. So yeah, the answer is, you know that 3 grams is too small, so 3 kilograms is reasonable estimate. So yes, it weighs about the weight of 3 kilograms. Now remember, 1 kilogram is 6 apples, 3 kilograms would be 18 apples. So if you're always thinking about comparing, compare to what you know. That's how we learn math. We compare to what we know. Relative weight, or we relate it to something we know. Guided practice. Circle the more reasonable estimate for each mass. Here you have a baseball cap. Would it be more reasonable to say that the estimate for the mass is 25 grams or 25 kilograms? So here I want to use my highlighter to select the correct answer. Remember, 25 grams is about 25 pennies. 25 kilograms is about 25 times 6 apples, okay? So imagine 6 sacks, 25 kilograms. So how many apples would that be? If you go back here and you notice that 6 apples is about 1 kilogram, how many would 25 kilograms be? So this is not reasonable. So the more reasonable would be this one, 25 kilograms. Next example is a bear, a polar bear, a big polar bear. So think about its mass. Would it be reasonable to say that it's 450 grams or 450 pennies? Imagine what 450 pennies weighs, okay? Or I don't want to use the word weighs, but you know, you can compare, or you can actually say weight, because you're actually picking up a jar of 450 pennies and you know that it feels massive, okay? And I don't want to use the word weight, but you know that it will weigh quite a bit, but you can pick it up. Can you pick up a polar bear? Well, think about 450 kilograms, okay? Then again, that's the mass. Which one's more reasonable? Okay, so if you chose 450 kilograms, you are correct, because I don't think he can weigh, he weighs a lot more than 450 pennies. Remember, 1 gram is equivalent to about the mass of 1 penny. And we're going to go here to our challenge question. I wanted to leave this question for gifted students or students who want a challenge, okay? Because I'm going to create an assignment that has to do with the mass of a person, or they'll be, you know, and the difference, how much they will weigh, what will be their mass in a planet. And that way you can explain the difference between weight and mass. And one great way to explore this is when you think about your own mass and weight in a planet. Okay, and if you've been to the Griffith Park Observatory, which is near the Hollywood sign, it's a museum, but it's also an educational museum and observatory where you can actually not only see planets, but they explain to you your own mass in a planet. What will be your mass in a different planet, in Mars, Jupiter, Earth, or even the moon? And I'm going to have you explore a little bit more about planets and mass and the difference between mass and weight. Okay, so look out for that assignment that I'm going to create. Again, it's for anyone who wants a challenge, but also for gifted students. It's going to be one of your assignments. Okay. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, you're going to see an assignment to complete the independent practice. Okay. Thank you.